I started making products because my oldest son, Michael, has eczema, and I started to make the body butter, which is our core product, because of his eczema, and I needed something that would protect his skin and give us an alternative to steroid creams. And after some time, family and friends started using the body butter, and everyone was giving me this the nudge that this is good, you should go to market. And I thought, I've got enough to do already. But then I started to do the research and learned that, over 10 million people are impacted by eczema. About 10% of them are kids. And then the number one non-food trigger for it is actually stress. And so it made me think about how I could create aromatherapy products and resources for people like me with kids with eczema and managing stress, and really create a product line that would help people to be more thoughtful about what they're putting on their skin, because it's the largest organ and we take for granted that we can absorb toxins through the products we use. So that was part one of the aha. And then the other part was the realization, also through research and talking with my, target audience, that Black women in particular spend about $8 billion on personal care products every year. And the interesting thing is that less than 25% of the products marketed to us are also considered non-toxic. So even though we demonstrate through our spend in personal care alone that we're committed to not only our glow, but our wellness, the market just hasn't responded. So you go to Target and now we've got end caps and part of an aisle. But when you start to drill down into how those products are actually helping us not just maintain our beauty, but also be safe, the numbers just start to dwindle. So part of that kicked in the activist in me and was just like, I want to do this because we have to come up with our own solutions. The market has chosen not to respond to us, but it doesn't mean that I can't get into the market and create solutions. So that was the aha. I started to actually package and let other folks sample the body butter. And, I just started with that product and got feedback, and people kept asking for more things. So we expanded over time. But necessity was the first aha. And then realizing that me and my family weren't the only ones who had that need is what pushed me to make OMG. So that's a little bit of the inspiration. So we wanted to start small and then work our way up. The idea of securing physical space and having a brick and mortar when it's kind of the thing in the startup space that everyone's like, you should not do that. And we knew that we had to, because we weren't just a product line anymore. And so we rented a space where we had 2 treatment rooms, and we were able to use, the common area to display products. And so it was a challenge because we had to share that space with other entrepreneurs who had their own process and own flow of clients. And so it just didn't fit for us. And we had to make a decision as to, do we ride this wave into the end of our lease, or do we figure out something else to do? And so our alternative was actually to honor our lease, as we should have, but Winston Junction Market opened up in, I want to say, March of, I believe it was 2018. And so the benefit of that was that we were able to have a local presence for me to get to know people in the community, literally let them sample products, and every Saturday have a reserved spot where people could come back. And so Curtis was able to maintain, taking care of clients, and I was able to introduce people to OMG through another space that was affordable for us and, allowed us to get a little closer to the community. So that's the first pivot that comes to mind. And then the second pivot was when it was time for us to decide, are we going to renew this lease and stay in this space, or is it time for us to grow and get a little bigger? And we reached out to our landlord and said, okay, do you have anything that, won't make us go bankrupt from a leasing perspective? And the response was, well, actually the place that's right next door to where you are is available, and it hasn't been renovated in like 15 years. So you can pick your paint colors and give us feedback about what, you would want your carpets to be and things like that. And so it was a scary move for us, but the way that it really all fell into place, we upcycled, things from Habitat for Humanity and furniture from in the house, and created a space that really does feel like a really intentionally curated oasis for our clients. And so now under one building, it's only OMG. And you can come in and, like I said, enjoy products, services, or take a nap, because there's even space for that. So that was, a period where we had to kind of make some decisions about the business that weren't based on how big we had gotten, but more about how much we wanted to grow. And, that's always a little, unnerving as an entrepreneur, because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew.